Alright, how's it going, guys? Today we're going to be going over a bit of a controversial video, and it is going to be reasons why I like my Civic Si more than my WRX. Now keep in mind, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy with an opinion. Just a guy. And also I will say, I love my Civic Si, but I really did love my WRX. Obviously, if you've been familiar with my channel, you know all the hardships I went through with my WRX. And obviously this doesn't apply to everybody, but I do really love both cars. And I thought it'd just be interesting to make this video. I want to hear your guys' opinion down below. Let's get into it. So it is now November 20th. I got these pumpkins, I think October 20th probably. I actually went to Jamaica, if you guys didn't know. I kind of tan. When I'm standing right here, I don't look tan. What if I go like that? I mean, I don't know if I look kind of tan. And so we just got back, and I totally forgot about these pumpkins. It's pretty gross. One of them was a Gengar, and one of them was a Pikachu pumpkin. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know. Let's actually go take a look. Nice. If you look very far, too poor to afford to park in the parking lot if I can focus. And there's my car. There's my car. Right there. Right there. There she is. Also, I started November late. So sorry about my greasy facial hair. I had an interview. So I had to shave about halfway through November, and so now I'm starting late and it's really greasy, but I like supporting the cause. Ooh, there she is. Ooh. A little behind the scenes, but in case you guys are actually wondering or ever have wondered, you know, how a lot of YouTubers film if they're not using a GoPro. Well, I use a stick mat. There's a perfect place to kind of place it right up here. It's kind of not as sticky right now, so hopefully that doesn't... Anyways, if I set my camera down right here, it's perfectly on my face. And believe it or not, this little mat keeps this camera planted so well, and it won't even vibrate, and absorbs like all the shock. So that's actually how we do it. All right, guys, so today we're gonna be going over reasons why I like my Civic more than my WRX. I understand this is gonna be super controversial, but that's okay. Just keep in mind, I love both cars to death. We're just gonna be highlighting some reasons why I like my Civic more than my WRX. And of course, there's many reasons why I'd like the WRX over the Civic. While my car warms up, hopefully it's not too loud. First reason why I like my Civic more than my WRX, and of course you can fix this with getting the STI, but it is the 6-speed transmission. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-speed transmissions are just a lot better. Of course, it depends on the car brand and, you know, what transmission it is. But this transmission is just awesome. The Honda Civic transmissions are just, you know, they're silky smooth. They just feel really, really good. In that extra 6th gear, it does wonders on your gas mileage, which is a big reason why I like my Civic more than my WRX. It also has pretty decent gear ratios, you know. It's really good stock, and of course you can modify it. You can add short shifters, lots of things you can do. I added, if you can't tell, this aftermarket weighted shift knob. I think I'm gonna do a video on it eventually. This is Skunk 2. It's like a big, if you're not familiar to Honda, it's a big, they're a very big aftermarket manufacturer for Hondas. But you know, the weighted shifter actually does, in my opinion, maybe it's just a placebo effect. It just makes it easier to put stuff into gear. One issue that Civics do have is a 3rd gear synchro. Fortunately, mine hasn't had that issue yet. But the weighted shifter definitely helps prevent that. Another reason I like my Civic Si, my 8th gen Civic Si, more than my WRX is the tach. So I do like the WRX tach. Don't get me wrong, it's very simple and I like simplistic. But this takes simplistic to a whole new level. So we start down below. Of course, we have, you know, the RPM range. And down there we have, like, obviously your just typical trip and how many kilometers in your car. That's 180,000 kilometers, not miles. Keep that in mind. I think that's around 110,000 miles. When you look up top, though, this is what I really enjoy. You have the digital display. I don't know why I had some issues there. If this can focus. Anyways, this car does a really great job for the digital display. I really wish lots of car manufacturers would do this. You know, it's almost like because of this driving position, it's almost like you're looking at a heads-up display. You know, there's the car, and then right there is the digital display. And of course, you can change it to miles, and you see your gas on the right, your temp gauge on the left, and actually right beside that kilometers an hour, right beside the H, there's actually a shifting light. So if you're about to hit red line and you're in the optimal, you know, shift zone, if you're trying to go fast, keep that in mind, if you're trying to go fast, it will give you a red flashing light indicating, man, you need to shift. You're gonna damage me. So that's definitely a good reason why I like my Civic more, because it's a really cool thing to have. You know, obviously it's not that big of a deal, but I like it. Another reason I like my Civic more than my WRX are these seats. Again, the WRX seats, they're not too bad. They're a bit firm. They're not, but altogether they're all right. They're definitely what you'd expect. They're more aggressive than regular commuter seats, but they're not as comfy as regular commuter seats. However, the Civic does a better job. They just look great, just in general. You know how you have the red pinstripe going down the sides. What could you love more about that? And then of course you have the SI logo. Pretty cheesy. Not really cheesy, but you know what I mean. And it's awesome. But not only that, it's not just because of looks. It's very comfy. So I don't know if you can tell from video, but it is definitely, it's kind of like memory foam. It's very, very comfortable. But also the side bolsterings are a lot more stiff, a lot more aggressive. So it still holds you in very well. And yet you can sit in it for, you know, a 5-hour car ride and you aren't sore. So overall, the seats are really good, and I like them way more than the seats I had in my WRX. By the way, guys, I just put my winter tires back on. I don't know if you saw that in the clip earlier. I don't have a flat or anything. There's a snowstorm. There was a snowstorm, you know, about a week ago here, so about a week ago. So I thought, you know, I should put on my snow tires and not crash. And so another thing I want to mention is, how could you be doing a Honda comparison video without talking about VTEC? I don't want to get a ticket, so I'm gonna slow down right away. So when talking about VTEC, you know, you got to bring it up. But what I will say is, I really do enjoy VTEC. It turns into what would be kind of a boring car, you know, to be honest, a more boring, underpowered car, into more entertaining, just more fun. It's more fun to drive because of like VTEC. But what I will say about that is VTEC better than having a turbo? No, I don't think so. You know, you can have your own opinion. You know, the turbo, there's so much more tunability, and there's so much more potential. But VTEC in itself is awesome. So I'm definitely not downplaying it. But is it better than like a WRX turbo? No, I don't think so. I'm actually trying to find like a kind of a new film spot. So I don't know if you guys knew. No, actually, we actually just got a new apartment where I live in Alberta. And so I don't have that church by me. It's about a 15-minute drive, so that's not really worth it. 15-20-minute drive. So I want to try to find a new like empty parking lot or something that I can film my videos in. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Speak of the devil. Oh, I mean that, no pun intended, no pun intended. No pun intended. Are you kidding me? You guys are not gonna believe what's right beside my new apartment down the street that I had no clue about. Oh my gosh, this is actually hilarious. I'll show you in 1 second, because you guys are probably pretty confused right now. This is hilarious. I can't. There's no way. What are the odds? I mean, yeah. Honestly, what are the odds? I'm just gonna say, what are the odds? So if you guys are familiar with my videos and this isn't your first time on my channel, sorry for this weird close-up angle. I did a lot of filming in a Mormon church. I'm sorry if that's the wrong terminology or whatever you want to call it. But I'm on the other side of my city, and it turns out there is an identical church, Mormon church, in my new neighborhood, right beside my apartment, and I had no clue. If that's not hilarious, I don't know comedy. But honest, what are the odds of that? And they're my favorite places to film because they're nice big parking lots and there's nobody around. Oh, there's some construction over there, so I apologize about that. But that's just so hilarious. And so another reason why I like my Civic more than my WRX is this engine. Sorry, I put on my dead cat, so hopefully that removes the wind noise. Is this engine. Plot twist though, it's not because of the power. It's not because of the torque, it's not because of the horsepower. It's not because it's an inline 4 versus a flat 4. It is because of the reliability. On this channel, you have seen my ups and downs of owning a WRX and how stressed out I've been, like the whole process. And this engine right here, you know what, knock on wood, because with my luck, you know, it's gonna blow up tomorrow. This engine right here is so, you can just count on it. Being a student, you can just count on this engine. You know, you don't have to worry about turning your car on one day and your car just having engine knock. You know, you don't even need to worry. This is a non-interference engine, so I don't even need to worry about my timing belt randomly seizing and then my whole engine bursts inside. But yeah, there it is. Sorry if I didn't get a good shot of it. Like I said earlier, I put on my winter tires, and I still have my Koenigs on the back because one of my winter tires went flat, so I still got the Koenigs. You know what I'm repping. And so another thing I kind of wanted to talk about is fun factor. And this is going to be a pretty controversial one because, you know, the other ones you can, in my opinion, you can kind of argue that the Civic does win in those categories, even though those are specific categories, and obviously the WRX would win in many other categories, such as all-wheel drive. You know, this car's front-wheel drive. Like, all-wheel drive is a great platform, especially in Canada. But the topics I'm highlighting are just those. I'm very aware that there's many categories that the WRX has over the Civic. Now, whether those categories are enough to say that the car's better, I'm not saying that. But I'm just putting out my opinion on categories that are indeed better on the Civic over the WRX. And obviously a big one of that is gas, sorry about the beeping, is the gas mileage. I know I talked about it a second ago, but just the kind of the practicality of this car. I know the WRX didn't have horrible gas mileage, but just the fact that you can rely on this car, you know, I do put premium gas on it, so that definitely does, you know, raise the prices. But the fact that you can rely on this car and it's so cheap on gas, so cheap on maintenance, you don't need to worry about stuff breaking down. That really is a check mark in my books. Now let's talk about fun factor, because I touched on it before, kind of going ADD over here, ADHD, I don't know. Fun factor. The WRX is a very fun car to drive. However, I would make the argument that the Civic Si is a more fun car to drive. Don't get me wrong. The WRX is more powerful, it goes 0 to 60 faster, and it could probably beat this car on the track 9.9 times out of 10. Well, it would. Let's be honest, it would beat the car on the track just because of the power. This car does handle really well though. For the price point of Civics, it handles really well, and for the fact that it's front-wheel drive. And this goes from the 90s until the newest generation. This car just handles really well. But when I'm talking about fun factor, I'm gonna argue that the Civic Si is more fun to drive than a WRX. Do you know why? Well, at least in my, and this applies to me, you guys can have your own opinions. When I would drive my WRX, I would be afraid that my car is gonna blow up. If I'm constantly hitting boost, I didn't beat on my WRX by any means, but if I'm going into boost constantly, it just say I want to have fun, because that's the point of cars. If I'm going into boost and I'm jamming gears, not in a bad way, I treat my cars good. But if I'm just having fun, I'm driving with some spirit, I'm always worried my car is something's gonna happen, you know? And you should always be worried about that. But in this Civic, there's a reason why they have such a good reputation, why so many people have them. You can rely on them. I can be on this car all day and it's gonna start the next morning when I have to go to school. With the WRX, that may not be the case. And obviously there's lots of people that have reliable WRXs, but myself and lots of friends, we've had really bad issues with them. And I love the cars and I want to buy another one day. But you know what I mean. So when I'm trying to have fun in a car, but I have that constant worry in the back of my head that my car's gonna blow up, it takes away some of the fun. You're more hesitant to do stuff, you're more hesitant to go into boost, that type of thing. Whereas with the Civic, you know, that's not an issue. You know, I just don't have that issue, and because you don't want to have to worry about those things. And so for those reasons, and I'm sure I'm leaving stuff out, I just think the Civic is a car that's more fun to drive. But anyways, guys, I really appreciate all the viewers lately. Another thing I want to talk about this, and I almost completely forgot somehow. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I think we just hit around 250,000 views. Awesome. That's so awesome, guys. It's been motivating me so much. I just got a really awesome comment, and I actually want to shout out the guy, because I just want to I just appreciate it so much, and it actually motivated me to take the time out of my day, out of my busy school load, to film this video. So I got a comment from Adam Ballard, and I just want to say I really appreciate it, man. It means a lot, and that's actually the reason I made this video, so you can say that you're the reason. But anyways, guys, I really appreciate all the views lately, all the support, and just everything, because I really enjoy making videos on this channel. Obviously I just do it for fun, but I really appreciate you guys. 1,000 subscribers, it's awesome, and I hope to continue to make content. See you guys next time.